Well, today marks the first day of early in-person voting here in the Commonwealth, and lots of Kentuckians took advantage, including state officials like Governor Andy Beshear and Secretary of State Michael Adams. ABC 36's Sydney St. Clair met up with the governor this morning as he cast his vote, and he spoke on the turnout and also changes he'd like to see made to the election process. Sydney?
Yes, Paxton. Now, as you said, it was a busy day with the polls with early voting. Some people, they waited more than an hour just to cast their votes. And like you said, Governor Andy Beshear, he participated in early voting this morning in Frankfort. And he spoke to me about seeing so many people make it out.
With the first day of early voting starting today, many people have made it out to cast their ballots. Governor Andy Beshear and First Lady Brittany Beshear cast their votes this morning at the Yes Arts Center in Frankfort. Beshear commented on the long line of people.
It's exciting that it looks like more people will vote in Kentucky than have before. Right now, I think we've got to see whether more people are just voting early or more people are going to vote overall. But participation is so important.
Some lines have been wrapped around the building, with some people waiting more than an hour. Beshear spoke at a rally on Wednesday about his hopes eventually more states will help decide who wins a presidential election or possibly electoral college reform.
What we see right now is 7 states deciding the presidency. It might be as little as 60,000 votes over those 7 states. And what it means is places like Kentucky, but also places that tend to vote differently, don't see the candidates, don't necessarily get that interaction. Moving forward, the more states that are involved, the more diversity of thought, the more voters that are being interacted with, the better overall for democracy.
For those who did not make it out to the polls yet, Beshear says,
my message is get out and vote. Regardless of who you're going to vote for, this is the bedrock of our democracy. We need everybody participating.
Sydney, you were out talking to voters as they lined up early this morning. What did a lot of the voters have to say just about the process and the process of early voting?
Well, Paxton, when I went to the library earlier today, that line, like I said, it was wrapped around the building. A lot of people, even this morning, those lines were already wrapped around the building, especially when Governor Beshear went this morning. And a lot said they were taking advantage of not having to worry on voting on Tuesday, and that they could just come in and kind of do it on their own time.
Yeah, and again, Secretary of State saying that, again, don't be deterred by those long lines because it's only going to get worse next week on Election Day.
Yes.
Sydney, thank you.
Thanks,